much is Kevin's looming free agency and the fact that, he's obviously been kind of non-committal about it, just festering in the locker room right now?
I don't think it is. I mean, I'm sure that that's going to be the idea in some people's minds. But I think, being around this team and being around these players, I said it on Media Day, it's hard to win a championship. You can't allow anything else in your locker room, in the narrative. And so this team has done a good job of that. I know it may appear as if it's looked easy over the last however many years. It's not. If you're in our locker room, if you're in an organization, it's hard. And so they'll get through it, and we'll keep moving. And as far as what happens after whatever days, hopefully we get to the finals and win the championship. That's all anybody's thinking about, because I think that's all you can think about. And so that's something we're going to keep doing. This team has proven that they will do that and continue to do that and have done that.
Bob, hi. So you've long supported Draymond's fiery, emotional nature and the way he goes about his job. Steve has done the same. And how do you sort of move forward from this and still allow Draymond to be who he is, the way he plays, and get past this one?
It's life, right? You just move forward through adversity. This is adversity, but we've had adversity before, and we'll have it again. Every team does. We do. I don't know that there's people that think we're a perfect place. We're not. We do our best just like everybody else. And I think it's what you do after these things occur that separates the good organizations. And there's a lot of them out there. That's what we're trying to be. And so how you handle things after they happen is the most important thing.
Hey, Bob, have Kevin and Draymond got to the point where they can hash things out, or is that too soon?
I don't know the answer to that. If they haven't talked, I'm sure that they will talk. I know both of them. I know what they want to accomplish this season. Been around both of them, so I'm sure that they'll get to that place because it's really about winning. And they both love to win. They both love to play basketball. And those are powerful things to have in common.
Bob, Draymond obviously hasn't really forgotten his 2016 suspension in the NBA Finals. Is there any concern that, he's gonna this is gonna fester with him and be an issue for him going forward, and he's not gonna forget this?
No, I don't. I mean, look, knowing him for however many years I've known him, if caring too much is something that he struggles with, well, that's who he is. So we'll move. We made a decision. We felt like this action merited the decision we made, but I have every confidence that he can move forward with it. Our team can move forward with it, our organization, our players. Because, again, I mean, this is part of the NBA. This is part of what happens. You hit it head on, you make the best decision you can, and you go from there.
Bob, something along the lines of what Connor asked, but before you made this decision, was there any concern that this can cause a divide? Because essentially it was two players, bickering. Maybe one went too far, but was there any concern in looking into that?
I think we make the best decision always that we do at the time, and that's what we did in this decision. And then you trust the people in your organization to move through it. And if you put the right people in an organization, you do move through it. And I think we have the right people here to move through things like this. So at the time, today, we made the decision we made. These things aren't easy, but you make them and you move on, and you trust your ownership, you trust your management, you trust your coaches, you trust your players, that you got the right fabric to move on. Because a lot of you in here have covered the NBA a long time. These things pop up. They do. And you deal with them. It's not the fun part, but it's part of it.
Steve, even before this happened last night, how would you sort of characterize Draymond's relationship with Kevin? I mean, from what we understand, he was involved in recruiting him. They've obviously clashed a couple times before. I mean, they obviously are close. How would you sort of describe that?
They've won championships together. They've been teammates now for this is the third season. They were teammates on the Olympic team. So you can draw your own conclusions.
How has Kevin's kind of non-committal approach to free agency festered at times in the locker room?
Not the slightest bit. Nobody ever talks about Kevin's free agency. Doesn't bother any of us.
Not even in this situation we're talking about?
No. It's the NBA. There's guys either are under contract or they're upcoming free agents, and it's the business. we're focused on this year. So I don't think anybody in our locker room, anybody on our coaching staff thinks twice about, Kevin's free agency this summer. That's next summer. This is we're coaching this year. We're playing this year.
Steve, in your playing days, we know about the scuffle you had at practice with MJ back in the days. Does going through something like that as a player kind of help you understand where the guys are coming from, Draymond and Durant are coming from, in terms of just two competitive guys that really want to win?
Yeah, I mean, when you play at a really high level and you're competitive, things happen. Every team that I've ever been on, things have happened. By the way, I kicked MJ's ass.
Given the fact that that the organization decided to suspend Draymond, is there any inference to be drawn that maybe this was an accumulation of irritants before, or was this a one-off in your mind?
Honestly, that was not a thought that, when Bob and I discussed all this, that was never anything that was brought up. This is, we evaluated what happened and we made our decision.
When it comes to managing a team, can a suspension also be a boundary setter? Like, this is the way that fire works, this is the way a fiery personality doesn't, or this is the way that communication should happen?
When you're on a team, you always have you have rules, you have codes, you just, that's all part of being part of the group, and so I think that's pretty obvious.